Dresch.
I'm Ryan Howe.
And welcome to
The Dresch Code.
Yeah!
the first episode of the Dresch Code. I'm very excited. First off, I want to say thank you to Robert Mehling for you're the reason why this show is here right now. Hey. I want to thank Jeremiah Ham for the name of the show idea, and Marc Wagner for the show poster idea. It was fantastic. I loved it. And yeah, let's get started. I'm going to introduce everyone. Kyle, Dylan, and Bobo from the band that I'm in, Aliens Do Exist.
Where's the camera? Oh my god, it's everywhere.
Welcome,
Big Brother
fellas.
is always watching.
In addition, Kyle is in Type Omega and Citavides, and then Bobo is in Some People's Kids. And we'll get more into that stuff as the night.
Do you want to elaborate that that's a band? Yeah.
We're all bands. Oh. In the band, Some People's Kids.
Bobo is in Some People's Kids was not an allegation.
No.
Allegedly.
Skyler Bolks is a local comedian, good friend of mine. Skyler, how are you? Yes, Skyler Bolks, local comedian, good friend of mine. How are you?
Doing well.
There you go. Very excited. And Ryan Howe. This is maybe our 5th or 6th show we've hosted
We
together.
just keep doing this over and over again.
Yeah,
we are the definition of insanity.
Yeah, other shows we've hosted: Donut Hippo, Awkward Transition Friday, Sue Empire Tonight, and there's other ones I think we made up on the spot as we did them live on the air back at KCFS. Those were good times.
Did all of them last 3 episodes, or is that just the ones I know of?
2.5-ish. Maybe one of us during one of the episodes had to go to class, and
It was probably Awkward Transition Friday.
yeah, where we played Slipknot next to Alanis Morissette into Paula Cole. But actually, Alanis and Paula Cole together makes more sense because they're 90s-ish artists. Anyways, how this show works, it's like a very structured, loose, I don't know if game show is the right word, but we have topics in a bucket here. Thank you, Robert, for the bucket. And I pull a topic out, and we decide if that passes or fails the Dresch Code. And we vote by all of our people in the room if we want to talk about it. Majority vote. And if we want to continue talking about it, we will. And if most of us are like, nope, I don't want to talk about that, we will throw that topic away and save it for the next episode.
Let's actually do a quick practice run where we vote on whether or not this is an actual bucket.
Yeah.
To me, I think it's a jar.
It's a
It's
jar.
a jar.
It's a jar.
Jar
Does not
bucket. A
Does
jar.
not pass the Dresch
Fail.
Code.
It's a jucket.
Yeah.
Jar bucket.
I'm gonna catch you with your finger in my sugar bowl, nephew.
Yeah. So how it will work, Ryan, we'll take turns pulling out a topic, and then we'll both read off a topic, and then we'll see how we feel about that. So,
Question.
yes.
If this is a game show, when does the slime come in?
Ooh,
Um,
I'll show you.
Oh. Is it supposed to be green like that? Oh.
Now I understand why we got so many camera angles.
You get slimed. You get
I've
slimed.
seen
You get
this
slimed.
before. The couch is a different color though.
It's usually black.
Oh man.
alright. So you guys ready?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Before another shout out, I would like to thank Hy-Vee for their 3x3 price decline slips, because I wrote all the questions on the back of their price decline slips. So,
Sure you want to admit stealing from your workplace?
Hey, it's employee owned. That's his shit.
You got a point.
alright,
Sorry for
so
yelling.
I'm going to shake the jar.
Jar.
Whiskey in the jar. Oh, ah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Alright, Ryan, do you want to do the first question?
I would love to.
Alright. If I can get the episode to end.
I'm going to grab one of them that's not facing up. Okay. This one is near and dear to my heart. The top 10 WWE wrestlers.
Pass
for
or
it.
fail.
I
Pass.
say pass.
Yeah, pass.
Pass.
Is this all time or current? Because if it's current, I have no idea.
Oh, I think it's all time.
Yeah. I don't know a lot, but I can throw my 2 cents in. So you think this passes the Dresch Code?
I say yes.
Pass. Go for it.
Yeah.
All right.
And passes.
All right, let's talk about it. Top 10 WWE wrestlers.
Macho Man Randy Savage.
Oh, yeah.
I put him up there. So we got 1. Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Yeah.
That's good.
Hell yeah, in fact.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Batman?
Batman.
Oh, wait, he wasn't a wrestler.
Yeah. Trash.
Batman number 3.
Hell yeah.
Solid
Hell
3.
yeah, Batman.
Yeah. The Trash Man.
From It's Always Sunny.
Danny DeVito.
If that's the road we're going down, Bonesaw.
We should put a time limit on it. It's like 3 minutes.
Should we? Yeah, for top 10.
It is
we
a
should
game
save
show.
It.
It is a game show.
For top 10s, let's restrict it to 3 minutes.
What about like
The
couples? Like the Hardy Boys or the Dudley Boys. Does that count as 2 or is that 1?
I would say a tag team counts as 1.
Yeah, tag team's 1.
Okay.
Road Warriors. Probably.
Road Warriors.
Yeah.
Just because those sweet outfits.
You gotta have The Rock on there, that's for
Yeah.
sure.
The Rock's up
So I'm
there.
not familiar with wrestling. They actually made there's a Hardy Boys team,
Yeah.
like the old
No,
mystery novel
No.
guys.
They were like high flying, like Jeff Hardy would jump off the fucking top of this ladder, do the Swanton Bomb, which was effectively like a
But
flip.
they're still named after.
Yeah.
But they
Well,
add a Z,
mystery
so
song.
it's so
Oh, boys with the
Yeah.
Every time they
Okay.
won a match, they unlocked a clue, and then they could get closer to the mystery.
Their clues
I'm
giving
glad to
me
know
a
I'm not the only one not current with WWE knowledge, though, so that's good.
clue goo.
Cool.
So do we have 6 right now? We have Macho Man,
Ric Flair.
Rick
Woo!
7.
Yeah, beat me to it.
Hulk Hogan, I mean,
You gotta have all of the guys with the exact same voice. So like Macho Man, Hulk Hogan, Bonesaw. You know, it's
You ready?
it's all inclusive. That's how good entertainment starts. Is this voice?
I mean,
Are you ready? Yeah, brother.
should we have an honorable mention for Chris Benoit?
Oh.
I was wondering, we should have that as a separate price
Cross the
decline sign.
face.
Chris Benoit, yay or nay? Okay.
Sorry.
Goldberg.
Goldberg.
That's
Yeah.
fair.
Didn't say anything, but he ripped people in half like tissue paper.
Yeah. I used to, PlayStation had a really awesome WWE game back in the day, and I made a really fat guy wearing a diaper and called him the Giant Baby. And he would just slap people's faces. That was all he did.
Put him
I don't
on
know
the
how
list.
we've gotten this far without mentioning Doink the Clown.
Oh, and his little buddy Dink.
Twink and Dink.
There's a arcade bar at the 81 in Harrisburg. My girlfriend beat the hell out of me like 6 games in a row with Doink the Clown, just to add insult to injury.
Eugene.
Decent.
We did one.
We did more than 10.
There was
by the
one.
way.
Oh yeah, I think that's about 10.
Okay.
I don't know if we should officially take count of all that we mentioned because I don't think I remember.
It's on the record.
It's a lot
The
of.
best way to have fun is lots of rules.
Yeah. There was one night. I don't know. This may have been like a couple months before you started doing stand up. We did each comic that night at an open mic had to do a Macho Man song or sing a song as Randy Macho Man Savage, and I think I did Stacy's mom.
Ah,
It's got it going on.
Sing us a song, you're the macho man. Sing us a song tonight.
Step into a Slim Jim.
Take me home tonight.
So that was. Should we time each topic for like 5 minutes? Or just
rules.
Should ditch the rules. I don't.
Just
It's
see
the
how it
first episode.
flows.
See how it flows. So I think we're done with the wrestling talk.
Yeah.
All right.
I think we've done it. I think
Yeah.
I
Next.
think we tackled that issue.
We just need to see
that was a
how
power
it
bomb of
flows.
a topic.
Period. Damn it. All right.
Steve
next topic.
Perry.
Steve Perry. Top 10 most polarizing artists. Oh, this one. This one is another top 10.
What
Pass
does that
or fail.
even mean?
Like artists that are like
Music?
half people love, half people hate.
Music
Oh.
artists like
There's
Vincent
lots of
Van
different-
Gogh.
We could do
There's a lot of
comics
different
and
artists.
musicians in this regard. I think that would be that'd be fun to do, musicians and comics. Or artists in general.
Pass.
I'm down with pass, I'm down with going forward.
I think it's too broad, so
Fail.
Fail?
Go.
I'm gonna fail with that one too.
Oh, okay. I think that's the majority.
Oh, that's
For it.
high. That's a 50-50.
50-50.
Joaquin Phoenix.
Robert, do you want to be the tiebreaker?
Sure, pass.
Oh!
Go forward. All right, should we...
Well, I think a very polarizing artist is Amy.
I like it.
I couldn't even say that at full volume because I'm embarrassed.
So half love, half hate. I would say like Dave Grohl and the Foo Fighters. for
I
no
could see
reason,
that.
there's people who hate Dave Grohl. And
I don't get that one.
Yeah.
I really don't understand that one. It's one of those things that I think people are like, oh, he's too nice. He's too good.
Is that a thing?
Yeah. Like,
People
At least
pity
he's
the
not
fool.
like fucking people's kids. You know what I mean? Like
some people's kids.
R. Kelly.
Yeah.
Yup.
Yeah. Yeah. And
Drip, drip, drip.
polarizing comedians, who do you think would probably be? Chappelle is one of those guys that lately people have been half and half on.
Yeah, a little bit. Just like at the artistic integrity and like, or not necessarily his integrity, but has he kept up? Like, is he still
Still
what
got
he
it.
used to be? Yeah.
And I would say
There's-
he does not, in my opinion. I like his specials, the new ones, but they're not as good.
Yeah,
There's moments that
It's hard
are
to reach
amazing.
Yeah. Like when you meet his OJ bits are still great, but like it's one of those things that
The feet pussy. That's my favorite one.
I mean, there's obviously always Amy Schumer is
Yeah.
talked about all
Is
the
she
time.
funny?
It's up and down,
Sometimes.
and
Wait, but to be polarizing, people actually have to like the person, right? Like that's
Yeah.
There has to be a side in favor.
She's
she
famous
keeps
for a
getting put in
reason.
movies and
You know, that's a good
TV shows
point.
and
Yeah.
stuff.
People get if people are famous and like doing it, there's obviously
Some
somebody
people
who's into them. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Radiohead is a polarizing one musically. It's one of those that I liked early Radiohead, but I can't get into the newer stuff.
Well, then that being said, would like Coldplay be another one too?
I would definitely say
A
Coldplay.
lot of people dug Coldplay, but you either loved it or you didn't.
Nobody said it was easy.
And welcome back to the Bobo Code.
I would bring up Nickelback, but I don't think they're polarizing because I've never met anybody that openly admits to liking Nickelback.
That's
I
fair.
met like 2 people.
The last
I thought you were gonna admit.
Alright.
to
No,
it
heck
for
no.
a minute.
What if you got rid
You're
of
the one.
What if you got rid of the vocals and like as a musician and you just heard like the riffs to a Nickelback song, like the drums, all the sounds of it, like you like, oh, this ain't that bad, and then like, well, it's Nickelback, like fuck that.
Well, it's, in mainstream rock music, though, like that is the thing. Like you could do the same thing with Volbeat, right? Like people love Volbeat and people hate Volbeat. Like you strip Volbeat's voice away, like yeah, the music's actually pretty solid, but then you add in and it kind of takes it, right?
Whoever's phone agrees with that.
Just found a ruby.
I smashed so many pots for that fucking Ruby.
There's quite a few artists that that are popular that people. That's more of a polarizing artist if it's popular or not. If it's an underrated or like a band that's not popular, it's hard to
Sure,
justify if they're polarized or
that's
not.
fair.
Weed.
So it's
Law
gotta be
Dispute is the
polar.
best thing ever.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
Name the most pretentious artists or comedians you could possibly think of. Sting? Oh yeah.
Well, just Carlos Mencia, just for the
Yeah.
stuff that he pulled at the club here.
Oh.
Very
Fun
personal
fact.
one there.
Yeah.
Well, and I wasn't even actually there for the show, but I talked to the club owner afterwards,
was
and
anyone
he kind of made a mess.
Yeah.
the stage.
I left that show 3/4 of the way into it. It was so rough. I never leave a comedy show unless obviously there's an emergency, but that hasn't happened. But
That was an emergency.
yeah, no, that was. Yeah, Nate Holtz and I were sitting looking at each other like, should we go? Yeah, let's go. Like, so that was one of those.
So you'd give his performance a D.
I think it's also
Rough.
fair to say that Zach doesn't like his comedy shows like his sex. He does not like it rough.
Sure. Should we move on to another topic? All right, Ryan.
All right. Next up for your judgment,
Come on, Jar.
is the real Paul McCartney dead?
Ooh,
I'd talk about that one.
I like
That's
this
fair.
one.
We'll talk about
I like
that.
this one.
Dylan.
Yes.
Pass the Dresch Code. Yeah. All right.
Oh yeah.
I've heard a lot of people say that Paul McCartney has been a replica for 40 years, since
Yeah.
the mid 70s.
That's what they say.
Holtz believes it. Otherwise, he's just trolling me hardcore and just won't give it up.
I mean, he's not wearing shoes. He's got to be dead.
Well, the whole Paul McCartney's dead thing started with Strawberry Fields Forever. You listen to the track, and when you get to the end of the track, it does that reverse fade in kind of thing. And in the very, very back here, George Harrison saying Paul is dead over and over and over again. And this is all kind of the same era as like Pink Floyd starting to get popular. The whole idea of eerie ambient kind of thing is starting. And I think the Beatles were just kind of trying to test the waters with that. They didn't go extreme like Pink Floyd was going. They just kind of tested just real soft, real subtle, just to see what would happen. And it spawned a conspiracy that's lasted ages.
Yeah.
You know, so it's successful in that regard.
I feel like they gave the name of the guy that supposedly was Paul after his death, like Greg Richardson or something like that. I don't know.
Isn't that fucking the dude who plays Dennis or something?
No, that's Glenn Howard.
His rage knows no bounds. I do believe Paul is actually the same Paul, though.
Yeah,
I think it's just messing up the crowd.
Absolutely.
Is he a lizard person?
Am I going to be the only
Is he a
person to
walrus?
say that
He is a
I think he
reptilian.
is.
I think so.
I think it's an imposter.
Really?
What I think happened is I think Elvis and Tupac and Paul McCartney all got bored and they got together and just kind of did a swap with new age cosmetic surgeries.
Oh,
Mixing it up.
different hair pieces, different outfits, that whole thing.
That's
Is
fair.
Illuminati
Or
involved?
Tupac got a new hairpiece.
Of course.
Paul did 9/11.
I heard it in the song.
I just want to say I have nothing against the Illuminati if they can help me out.
I am completely willing to do anything and sell out as quickly as possible.
You scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. I don't know what I can do for you.
Where should I wink at?
Which camera?
So little recording like starts flashing on one of the cameras.
This one. Yeah, this one right here. It's right here. You want to get closer to it, Bob?
All right, next topic.
Sure.
All right.
What if we get through all of them?
Favorite show memories, weirdest performance experience
Favorite, like,
in general,
Rock
of any
show,
show or
comedy
any
show,
show that you
any show.
performed
Playing
at.
or seeing?
Go around the couch for this one.
Well, sure.
Kyle, weirdest, or it should start with Kyle, or should we start with Ryan?
Yeah.
Well, everyone's got to approve it first.
Oh, pass or fail.
Yeah,
pass
pass.
or fail.
We'll go with it.
First episode, a little shaky. Pass or fail. I'm down with this one.
We'll pass. We'll
All
pass
right. Do you want to start, Kyle, or Ryan? Do you want to start?
it. I'll go
Rehash the question to me again.
popcorn it.
Favorite show memories, and also it's a two-parter, and weirdest performance experience.
Favorite show memory and weirdest show
Yeah.
memory. Okay, so I was in a cover band for a while here in town called We're No Angels, like a 90s alternative thing. A couple of you guys have been out to see it. And I don't know how the hell we landed this gig, but we ended up getting like hooked up with this guy who runs a restaurant out at Lake Ponset called Pier 81. He's like, "Oh, you guys are okay. You should come play at my bar." And we're like, "Cool, man. Whatever, sure." And we did. We played on the fucking beach at Ponset on like 4th of July, and it was the most lit experience I think I've ever done. Just
Nice.
like 70 degrees, everyone's out on boats, everyone's just shooting off fireworks and shit. It was crazy cool. It was rock star shit, it seemed like, you
That's
know?
cool.
And then they fed us too. And there was a paycheck.
Food is the pinnacle of a good show.
Yeah, absolutely.
Actually, very true.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I would definitely say that was the funnest, or the one off the top of my head. Weirdest? I've fallen on stage a couple of times. Almost fell off the stage of the district.
Oh,
That was funny, I guess. But I'm trying to think like weird, because that's not really weird. That's just my fat ass tumbling. Oh man, I don't know.
You could call that weird. Unless
I
you're into that kind of
guess.
thing.
I suppose. I guess that'll have to be it. I can't really think of anything just odd per se. You know,
yeah.
I'm just klutzy on
It's
stage.
it's subjective. What odd means to you? Like if someone would be like, oh, the vibe wasn't right that night, or something like that, or if someone like asks you to sign their leg, their fake.
I guess that's
their
fair.
leg.
Yeah. Nope, never had that.
Will you sign my peg leg there, sir?
I'm a big fan of Rage Against the Machine.
Sailing in the name of.
See, I guess I would take the district then because I
orange.
tried to do something cool, like try to do some cool ass guitar pose, and I tried to get up and started stumbling backwards like I was gonna fall on my ass, and I went like the full 30 feet of the district stage before I recovered at the very ass end. So
Did it just look like a sweet like back pedal dance move?
oh no, everyone saw me going down. The fact that I recovered was like, oh my god, that actually saved you. Like,
No.
It's one of my favorite things ever to watch is somebody trying to be cool and just failing.
fuck it up.
miserably.
Oh yeah. I'm really good at that.
Dylan, what about you?
Well, playing wise, I've only played like 6 shows.
Yeah, so
that's with
Alien's the only band you've been in?
Yeah. I'd say the coolest one was that outdoor Freedom Fest thing we did last
Yeah,
year.
That was
fun.
cool.
They're like people on stilts, people dancing around in dirt, rocking out to Blink-182. That was a good time.
Yeah, I remember you telling me the story, different show, how you were saying like some guy, I don't know if it was a friend of yours, was
Oh,
talking
yeah.
about how, or you would tell the story.
Well, yeah, it was.
Setting you
I
up.
didn't know the guy. This is after our last show we did for Bikers Against Child Abuse.
Oh, that was a good one too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good show.
We came off stage after playing our Blink-182 songs, and this one guy just comes up to me and he says, "Oh, I didn't know like there's gonna be a Blink cover band here tonight. I really love Blink-182, and I was having a real shitty day, feeling really down, and then I heard you guys play, and it really made my day and made me feel a lot better, and that made me
Decent.
feel really
Yeah.
cool, and that we kick ass."
That was a fun show because I had worked like a 9 or 10 hour shift that day, and both my bands played in a row that night.
Yeah.
So I just chugged 2 Red Bulls before, and I flew by, and I kind of remember the shows. But I remember them, but like I was just like,
caffeine fog.
yeah.
We raised a decent chunk of money for
Yeah.
vodka that night. I think it was like $550 something.
Yeah.
So that was cool.
It was a fun show.
Yeah.
Yeah. Weirdest performance experience?
First time I ever was on a show because I totally had to change the way I sang because it did not work at all.
Oh, yeah.
Like on the fly, and I just winged it the whole time, and it turned out all right. So
Yeah.
that was
Yeah.
Yeah. Bobo, what about you?
Favorite show? Was that like one I played or one I went to?
Performance wise, playing,
Okay.
like performing yourself.
Probably the favorite show that I ever played was I thought it was pretty cool playing with the red jumpsuit apparatus. It was like probably one of the bigger shows I've
That'd be
played.
cool.
It was really cool just to play like out to seeing that many people in like my hometown. Like they were there. Like not they weren't all there for us, but you know we sold like 60 tickets or something before that show. So there was at least 60 people that were there to see us for sure.
Yeah.
So that was really cool. But I think that was probably my favorite one.
Was that with some people's kids? Or?
Yeah, that was with SPK. Probably the weirdest one. SPK played this outdoor show down in Yankton at this place called the Cottonwood. And we were playing on like this flatbed trailer, and they had a whole sound system set up and stuff. And we was right before we were supposed to start to play. Like this storm started rolling in, and like, well, we'll keep playing unless it gets crazy or something like that, you know. And so we started off our set, and like 2 songs in, it starts raining. So we're playing our set in the middle of the fucking rain. And there's like water splashing off the cymbals and stuff. So it was crazy. Like nobody got shocked. And then
Except for the crowd.
no,
Hey-oh.
long story short, nobody got hurt. Some things were a little bit rusty. Everything had to get cleaned off. And it wasn't just our bass player, whose name is Rusty.
I
Solid.
think I gotta go.
Done.
Skyler, favorite show memory?
My favorite, I'm gonna slide 2 in because I did a room up in Corona, South Dakota, and had just an incredible Parmesan crusted steak. It's called the Shady Beach Lounge. It was and with shrimp. The food was free, the drinks were free, and I was with Nathan Holtz, and he was driving back, so I didn't have to worry about being sober for the ride home. So I got to tie a little buzz on, but it was a big room. There's like 100 some people in there, 100 plus,
Nice.
and it was a really fun show. And then Oscoda, Michigan as well. I was on the Paul Bunyan Comedy Festival up there, and the first night, like it was the crowd was kind of a little bit smaller because it was on a Thursday night, and like people weren't like a lot of people were there for all of the shows, so they weren't like totally geared up for it yet, but I was on the second to last show on the last night, and we actually had somebody cancel. So I got given a little bit of extra time, which, as a comic, it's like your minutes. It's all about like if you can get an extra 5 minutes, it's kind of a big deal. So I was allowed to go a little bit longer, and I just killed all the way through. And that was like almost 200 people in that room, and that was a really good time. Nice. And got free food with that show, too. So
There you go.
important.
Weirdest show experience?
Weirdest one?
I can think of one. It's more of an open mic for you. It was an open mic that we all went to at 1 a.m. But other than that, at Pave.
What? Oh yeah. that was Pave.
Yeah, Pave.
But Pave was always that way.
Yeah.
Actually, the weirdest would have to be we were doing a show, and we actually got paid to do the show in Sioux City. And it was in this bar on the side of a hotel, and there wasn't really any promotion for the show. Like, nobody that was there knew there was going to be a show. So we just had like 15, 20 guys that were working on the interstate. They were pretending to be working on the interstate because it was Sioux City. But they're all...
Did that joke kill with him?
I tried like 3 different versions of it with them. Because they all had their backs to us and were rotating in on the pool table, which was in the room, but it was on the opposite side of the room. And so I'm quite a draw because I brought the entire crowd that was there for the actual comedy show, my girlfriend and her 2 friends. So I just basically like told them stories about my life. Like I wasn't even trying to do stand-up anymore.
I never meant for you to learn this, but it's something you now know about me.
For me, probably favorite show memory musically, this was when Disarm played our first show at Total Drag about 4 or 5 years ago. It was like they had just opened up. We were like the second or third show there ever. And it was like a warm summer day. It was one of those shows that the headliner canceled, and so we actually inadvertently ended up headlining. It was a pretty fun show. Just kind of do a 45-minute, 50-minute set, and it was just super fun. And then it like downpoured like right after our set, like
Solid.
Like, saved it for after the show.
Yeah.
And then stand-up wise, when Nathan Hoffman recorded his album, I got to open for him, and it was like. It was a short and sweet set. It was like 5 minutes, but it was like time for me. It just ended up everything just hit right perfectly. Like as a stand-up comic, when you hit right, that's the greatest feeling.
Yeah.
And like when your jokes just land, everything lands, and it's just perfect. That's just one of those nights for me. And weirdest stand-up night was like 3 or 4 months ago at a bar. It was one of those nights where the audience was not laughing at anything, and it was just a weird set. It was just one of the roughest. Like. Crowd wasn't like there was a ton of people there and no one was laughing. That was the worst part. It's one of those nights where it's like you were there too. And
Yeah,
it's
this other day.
No, that one too. But I'm trying to not to rekindle recent memories that hurt. But back in February, I think was one of the first ones in a long time where I was just like, oh, that was rough. There's a ton of people there, no one laughing at anything. Like all the comics were having a rough time that night, and then some guy that I kind of know that I see around town who he's a nice guy, but he's like, I want to tell some stories. I'm like, of course you do. And then I'm not gonna say his name.
I don't know. And he was his opening line was "I'm an asshole," and then he just proceeded to prove that in a but not in a funny way.
Truth in advertising.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I know the night you're talking about. That was really awkward. And the weirdest thing was that there was a group of like college kids up front.
Yeah.
And it was like post tests or something because it was like I don't remember what was going on, but they had just done a big test or something like that, and they were out to celebrate, and they're listening, but they didn't respond to anything.
Everyone looked like they'd rather be elsewhere.
Right.
Yeah. So that was a weird experience. As far as musically, I don't know. Unless in terms of the venue being weird, but it was more like there was one night where I had recently injured my quad muscle lifting heavy equipment, and Disarm still had a show scheduled at Biggs or something, and it was a fun show, but that was the worst pain I've ever been in performing a show, because I pretty much give it all when I drum. I just kind of headbang, and then I'm sore for 3 days. And then that was just one of those weird shows where I was just like, my mom was there. I'm like, Mom, give me Advil. Where's the Advil?
That wasn't Advil.
No. This is more like Vicodin. I'm just
Those
kidding.
little blue things the movie stars take.
Yeah.
Mom, give me more of Grandma's happy pills.
Give them your damn self.
Favorite show, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna try and keep this brief. So both the same show, but it was when I did Bye Bye Birdie in college. It was one and only time I'm ever going to lead a musical because musicals are not written for basses. That was kind of a surreal moment for me to be able to do that. But the weirdest moment comes from that show. Because there's a scene at the end where we're trying to lead this Elvis-like character out of the town because stuff went down. So I dress him up as my fiance to try and get him on the train. So the person who was playing that character was this freshman guy that I got to know pretty well. And on dress rehearsal night, he added a little thing where he gives me a little peck on the cheek before he runs off. Cool, fine. Totally cool with that. Except the next night, he pulled my shoulder a little bit too hard, and I turned with that. So at my exceptionally conservative Christian college, on stage in front of 300 people, I end up kissing this dude. Who either at that point or later on becomes my ex-girlfriend's boyfriend. Easily the weirdest moment I had on stage.
And your ex-girlfriend at the time's in the back of the crowd like, hell yeah!
Do it again!
Take you from kiss to cuck.
Let's see where this goes. I'm into it.
Is this where the slime comes in?
Oh, it's already here.
Robert, did you ever perform live or do anything like that at all? Or do you have any show, or at least shows? We could do a show.
I've done
in
like
general.
speeches and stuff like that, but I
Any
haven't
weird
done, like, a
speech
show.
experiences?
Damn, I have good stories on that, but I'm just blanking at the moment.
All right. Next topic.
Next
All
time.
right.
Next song.
Right, it's your turn on this one.
Next song.
Next song.
But
Has auto-tuning and other technological advancements ruined raw talent?
Yes, we should talk about
Pass.
this.
I'm down with that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Pass.
It passes?
Skyler does not.
I'm confused with the pass.
I'm just voting the opposite of everybody else. I don't want to talk about anything. I just want to pass through all of them, and then we can go home.
I just want to read them and just.
let's do it.
I'm hungry and I need a beer. It's
Is there any way you can auto-tune the podcast so people get what we're talking about?
Yeah.
Pause for context for everything. But I think it's kind of hurt.
This is America.
Yeah, this is America.
I think there's you could say this about like any. It's kind of the kids these days with their auto tuners and their skateboards. You know, it's the same thing people have been saying forever.
Yeah.
And it's like you could make a case for, you know, when someone else started writing songs for someone that was better at singing but couldn't write a good song. You know, like, did that ruin the raw talent of being a good writer and a good showman?
Right.
Or, you know, those things go on forever.
Yeah. For me, I've always never been against it. It's one of those things that if it needs to be fixed, because especially watching my dad mix and record, seeing him touch up vocals, if it's like a pitch off here for one little second, whatever, like it happens, and you have a limited amount of time in a studio, things are going to happen. But if you have to auto-tune your entire vocal performance because
Exactly.
you're garbage,
Exactly.
then I'd say just, find a different hobby. Like,
What if it's not necessarily because you're garbage though, but more
Not
so
garbage,
for the
but-
effect of the song? You know what I mean? Like a lot of the current music. You know what I mean? Like there's some pretty cool stuff out there
Yeah.
where you can hear some people doing that, but it's kind of the intent of that song is to have that auto tune on there.
Yeah.
And like a lot of it is kind of perception too, because a lot of people are like, oh, we only listen to this or only listen to that, so they're not necessarily going to even listen to that. So, but like I think that as a musician, like if you really sat down and listened to something, even if it's something outside of your comfort zone, you could appreciate certain things and see what they're trying to do. Like, oh, that was actually really cool. Or like, well, I just still didn't like that, but it was kind of nice to see how they applied that.
Right.
And to add on Bobo's point, it's a good point to differentiate the difference between Terry's auto-tune and pitch correction. There is a difference.
Yeah.
When people say auto-tune, everyone thinks the T-Pain sound, which
Yeah.
that is what auto-tune is. Pitch correction is simply just taking certain notes, shifting in, then fixing it. And modern pitch correction, like Melodyne, for example, you can't tell. And if you say you can tell, you're fucking lying.
Yeah.
You know, it's one of those things where, as it's been said, it's if you have to take your entire vocal track and have it completely pitch corrected, yeah, you're probably not too great at this. However, if you just needed to fix a spot here or a spot there, or even add for the effect of it, like it's a very powerful tool.
Yeah. So it has its positives and negatives, essentially.
Because T-Pain can sing like a motherfucker.
He actually can, and like he got famous for auto-tune. That's pretty much what he got known for.
Right? It's weird.
Well, it's like the dubstep like effect thing, you know.
Yeah.
If you can get it's like something outside of like sampling a specific sound or something like that. It's just another way to create another different specific sound for like your style of music.
Absolutely.
I would kill to see Skrillex like do these vocals live of his songs and not be standing behind a DJ turntable, but like do
Sure.
just do them live, like
Beatbox it.
yeah.
If you're into that style of music though, and you want to use like the auto-tune effect, or your voice is just that shitty where you need it or something like that, take like the Daft Punk approach, just use a vocoder, get decent with the keyboard, and just do the whole digital robot voice thing, because that's way cooler than auto-tune anyway. If you're not a good singer, you know.
Yeah.
Robot.
Man.
Yeah, I like that question. Next topic.
Next up.
All right. Oh, worst show we've ever done that we
Fail.
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 Quick one.
That question's a big fat phony.
Oh, we got a novel here. What happened to the story song? Arlo Guthrie had some classic, hilarious story songs.
Fail.
Alice's
Fail.
Restaurant Massacre, the motorcycle song, is it a dying form,
It's
or
still
how is
going?
it being reimagined? And by whom? That's a fail, is it?
Fail.
I don't even know what the fuck that's
It's an interesting topic. I would say pass, but it's already failed. So
Yeah.
However, Weird Al's Albuquerque for the win. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
well, yeah,
No, we failed it.
failed it. Yeah,
We
you're right.
failed
Okay,
it.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
No.
Comment.
You got weeds on
Moving
your face.
on.
Moving on.
Moving on.
All right.
Interjection.
Phoenix Wright objection.
Politics and music and comedy, good or bad?
Ooh.
Oh,
Well, it's an easy one. So yes,
Yeah,
yeah, pass.
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 Yeah, I'm down
It's
with
as
that.
easy as yes or no.
Yes.
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 Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think it's good when it's applied correctly.
Yeah, if it's
Yeah.
applied correctly. Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't matter even if someone aligns with my politics, like when they like for stand up specifically, I don't want to hear about politics. Like I'm not here to be reminded of the shitty things that are going on, like
Yeah.
all these things that we got to deal with. Like I'm at a comedy show to have a good time.
Yeah.
Right.
And bringing up all these things, like it brings up those emotions and not necessarily discussions, but shouting matches that happen at family dinners and stuff like that. And it's not fun for me. I'd rather, hear you tell me why Doritos are weird.
Yeah.
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 Maybe not talk about your genitals quite so much either.
But I think it does have there are good ways going about it. It's probably cliched, but like I always go to the Jim Jeffries bit on gun control,
Right.
where he does make a lot of nuanced points, but he does it in a hilarious manner. So I think if you're approaching it from the standpoint of having a constructive discussion about it and also able to make fun of both sides of the argument, sure, go for it.
Yeah.
If you're just going to be bashing on something because it's popular to bash on it at the time or it's an easy mark, then no, find something else. That's
Well,
I
no,
really like that bit, and I respect it and appreciate it when it's done well, but at the same time, like I'd rather not.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And to bounce off Skyler's thought, like musically speaking, music, like in that artistic regard, it's molded out of the environment you're in, right? Like you take a lot of influence from the environment you're in. So there's been a lot of significant music that's just really good, just from the emotional state of shitty politics, you know. And that's the songs aren't necessarily directly about what's happening politically, but the anger or the feelings that come with that state inspire cool tunes. System of a Down's a good band like that, you know. It was born out of a shitty political period.
Black Flag.
This Is America is a great representation of that right now.
Don't get you slipping now.
Well, that's a cool ending point too, because like the state of politics now, without diving into it, there's going to be some serious solid music soon.
Yeah. Because
it is just a shitty environment right now.
Yeah.
And I'm 100% the opposite in music. Like I love a good like protest, like punk rock song or something like that. You know that, and because it's a different thing. Like comedy's kind of trying to invoke a specific reaction and emotion, whereas music is this whole broad range of different emotions that it touches on. Right. So, and that's something I'm a little more comfortable with.
Absolutely.
Yeah, well said.
Oh yes.
All right.
Yeah.
Jar Jar.
Jar Jar Binks, is he canon?
Let's put that on the ballot. You know?
What bands are not in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame that should be?
Blink 182.
Limp Bizkit. No.
We should. I wonder. Well, pass.
Fail.
I'd go with that.
I'm going with the fail.
I'm not. Well,
I might go with fail because this one could take.
Well, that's 3 out of 5, so we could cut.
I might go.
Cut. Make it a brief one.
I'll just go maybe.
Robert, your thoughts?
fail's fine.
Pass.
Oh no, it's already.
Oh, it's already failed.
Failed.
Fails.
4 fails.
Yeah, except for you.
Dang.
And Lalo.
Dang. Okay.
Blink
But
182.
even
Well, I
now,
don't know if I'm not current on that shit. I'll probably say a band that's already in or something. You know?
stenographer, please redact that last
The Beastie
statement.
Boys. Wait, they're already in.
Down.
Madonna.
She?
She is.
Oh my god.
One-hit wonder songs that were so good you wish they could do it again.
Oh yes.
Or one-hit wonder artists or something like
Pass.
that. Pass.
Oh, I'll say
I'm down
pass
with that. I like
That
one.
thing you do, the Wonders.
Yeah. New Radicals, you get what you give.
Oh!
I wish they'd come back.
In serious note, that fucking
Yeah.
that outfield song.
Oh
that?
yeah. Your love.
Yeah. That shit's
Fastball.
the way.
The way.
God.
Yeah.
I think of most bands as a one-hit wonder because there's very few bands I like more than one song of.
Yeah.
That's
Lou
fair.
Bega, Mambo number 5.
I don't want him to come back.
That's all that's spamming in my head right now is Lou Bega. Like just programs like one hit wonder. Number 5.
Yeah.
What about that Local H song?
Oh, kids are Bound for the Floor. That's the
Down
one.
for the Floor, yeah.
Yeah. A lot of '90s bands had like one or two songs, like
That Caroline
Refreshments.
Spine song.
Oh,
Yeah.
dude. Sullivan?
Yeah.
Sullivan. Then Refreshments had Banditos.
That was a good song,
That
too.
song is great.
Garth Brooks.
He's a one-hit wonder to me.
He is a one-hit wonder. He's got lots of number one hits. You wonder why?
Friends in Low Places and then Bolt.
Nickelback?
I heard Chad Kroeger got vocal surgery recently, so his voice is thinner than it used to be. And I had heard about that, and so I curiously I was bored. I watched Nickelback on the Today Show last year, and it is rough. It's like, never made it this wise, man. I get it. It's rough.
Look at this crap.
TP Darts on Facebook says, Local H, hands on the Bible.
Thomas must really like that band.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like Local H. They're really great. It's only 2 guys, too.
What's that red
Really?
stuff?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
I just
my
know the
parents,
song.
son.
My wife
Yeah.
made it for me.
I think it's funny, like, we
in a
mentioned
glass
that
jar,
the
too.
90s, like, there's a lot of 90s bands that were kind of a
Such
one-hit
grace.
wonder.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of that was kind of fueled by, like, the MTV, like, the music video thing, because if you had that one good song that you get a music video of, like, that becomes kind of, like, it gets perpetuated throughout a bunch of different kinds of media, so it's
Then you get $1 million.
easier to make it popular.
And when you didn't have iTunes, if you had a hit song on an album, you could go gold just because of that one song.
Right.
It's just ridiculous. I missed that time period, actually. It's like, if you had like one solid song, you were set for a couple of years.
How do you go gold now? Just like 1 million plays on Spotify?
Well, actually, yeah, no, digital gold is a thing. Yeah,
You get $1
digital
for that.
ratings are a thing. Yeah, streams or everything's bought online now. So yeah, if you sell a certain amount of copies online, yeah, they'll actually RIAA will send you the certification plaque.
Nice.
It's very rare to see non-pop artists reach gold at this point. Like
Yes.
rock bands, I think the
Yes.
closest we've gotten, I think, is maybe Panic at the Disco. A couple others have
Yeah.
gone
That's
gold.
still kind of pop.
Blink went gold with the newest one, I think.
I think was it Rancid? Didn't they go like platinum or something
For
with
Out Come the Wolves. And then never again after because they had like 2 or 3 hits off that. And they've maintained a consistent career, but that one album saved them, or like kind of made their career for a little.
Then out come the wolves.
No. Next one.
Yep.
All right.
Oh, top 10 most overrated artists.
Yes. Sorry.
I feel like we already talked about that.
Kinda.
I feel like
I'd
that
say
kinda
fail on
that
that one.
overlaps too much. So I'm gonna
I'd say fail on that one.
Hashtag fail.
Yeah, since we already kind of touched on it.
Sad now.
The
Does
Dresch
it?
Code.
What, Dresch Code?
Oh, was that too late?
No. 45 minutes.
This is not that bad.
Does an artist who has a weird or unique voice make or break an artist for you?
Ooh.
Ooh, pass?
Pass.
Pass.
I'll go with that one.
I'm gonna start with Emo Phillips.
Yeah. You don't like Emo Phillips?
No, it makes him. 'Cause
Oh, yeah.
That guy's pretty funny.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
there's no way he's as popular and well known as he is if he doesn't have the. Well, I was going down to the store.
Yeah.
He could just read out of the phone book
Yeah.
in that voice and get good laughs from a lot of people.
Is he a
Yeah.
comedian?
Yeah.
Okay, I've never.
You seen
heard of him.
UHF?
Oh.
He plays the guy that cuts his thumb off doing the table saw. Just call me Mr. Butterfingers. I think it's on the floor somewhere. Is my face red?
I would say yes, but I wasn't always that way because when I started doing music, I was very much like choral, proper vowels. That's why I like really hated country music. And so like now as my tastes have evolved, I'm like, yeah, kudos to you for having something that's completely different, not the normal sound that you hear everywhere that keeps getting pushed. So I appreciate finding artists that have a different sound, a different tone to them.
T-Pain? No.
Different auto tone to them.
Right. Oh, it's subjective artist to artist, though, right? You know,
Yeah.
it's like we even joked about the Volbeat thing already. Like Volbeat's voice doesn't do it for me, so that sells it out. However, I like a band like Cody and Cambria where it's a very distinctly voice, and you know a lot of people do not like that
Yeah, I know a lot of people that do not like Coheed just because of
because
Claudio's voice. Musically,
Yeah.
they're fine with it, but it's like, yeah.
Yeah,
That's
that's
why I
like
hate Guns N' Roses. Can't listen to a Guns N' Roses song.
I'm with you
And
there.
it breaks my heart that Axl Rose is now singing for AC/DC because I'm like, one of my favorite bands and one of the most hated people on planet.
Yeah.
Hi. Hi.
I like
Hi.
the 1975.
Just vocally, like,
Vocally, like musically, it's pretty cool. But like I probably wouldn't like it as much if that dude didn't have his like accent.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
the first that chocolate song, you know, that was like their hit song or whatever. That first one that
Yeah.
really came out with, like, it was super big. And I was like, what the fuck am I listening to? And I was like, this
Yeah.
is cool. And then I heard a Knuckle Puck cover and I liked it even more.
no.
I mean, what would Blink be if Tom DeLonge didn't
Exactly.
sing weird?
That's what I was just thinking.
Yeah. Good point. I'm trying to think of an artist that I don't like because the voice just throws me off.
William Gallagher.
Creed would be a good one. A lot of people
Creed,
real
yeah.
in the middle ground there.
That dude could sing though.
Creed rocks.
Could push
Yeah.
even if you didn't like it.
A lot of 80s, like some 80s glam bands that the vocals just kind of ruined it for me, so I just couldn't do it.
Yeah.
Could not do it.
Twisted Sister was not one of them though.
No, Twisted Sister's dope.
David Lee Roth. A lot
I
of
was just
people
thinking
in
of
the
that
middle.
one, too,
A lot
yeah.
of people love him or hate him.
Yeah, I'm more of a Roth. I'm more of a Roth person than a Hagar person. Even though I will say that Hagar's voice is 10 times better than Roth's, but Roth had better songs, in my opinion. But I guess
That's a separate topic to pull out from
that's
the
a whole
bottom.
other topic. Van Hagar?
From Facebook, Matt Hartoff says Puddle's Pity Party.
Oh,
Yeah.
I love that, dude.
That cover is fantastic.
Quite good.
All the small thing. It's stuck
I
in my
love those
head.
videos.
Yeah, they're so great.
Yeah.
That dude can definitely sing, but it's weird listening to those songs
Yeah, it
in
is.
those like vein. I'm like, should I like cut myself? Like I don't think that's good to make fun of that necessarily, but it's like you can't help but feel kind of sad watching this dopey clown. It's just like the whole ambiance of it is like you can't help but be a little bit sad watching it.
Have you ever heard All Star in minor?
No.
Oh, that song just gives you depression like immediately if you listen to it. I ain't the sharpest tool in the shed. Like it is weird.
My favorite All-Star remix sidebar quick. Bobby Koyman showed it to me. It's every noun is replaced with shed. Someone remixed it. I ain't the sharpest shed in the shed. She was looking kind of shed.
Start coming and they don't stop coming.
Fed to the shed.
And they don't stop coming.
Ooh, bad.
Okay.
Next topic.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm just over here taking advantage of Dylan's knee.
No complaints.
Oh, long one. That's what she said. How?
That's not what she said.
I wish.
Not for me.
I like dick.
How?
That out before the show.
We were supposed to. How does music as children impact us into adulthood? Should organized choir and performing be just as required as sports?
Well, I would
Pass.
say that sports is required.
Pass.
Fail.
Yeah, I think at one point all of us been like keep talking about it like, oh wait, we have to approve it.
Well, forget that.
I'm down with that.
Rules make things so much better.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I think music is definitely a very important part. Like in school, it like kind of lets you explore things a little bit more. You see different perspectives on things, but like sports isn't necessarily forced on people, except for like gym class.
Yeah.
But
I wasn't a
music in
gym
school
class
is really
hero.
good. I could do like 10 push-ups.
I only had pancakes and Alka-Seltzer when my tummy ached. So
I don't like the idea of it being required. Just because for me it's very personal. It's something that you choose to do, you explore. It's I feel like it just takes something away if you're forced to do it.
Yeah.
And especially in going to a public school where our choir ballooned from 60 people to 90 people because people had to take it for a credit or whatnot. Like the quality of the product then diminishes. You get so many people in there that don't care about it as much as the person next to them. That affects the morale. I think ideally you want a unified group of people that are all there because they love doing it and they want to see something succeed. As soon as you start putting mandates on it, you lose what makes it special.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. To kind of add to that, I like to say that like trying to force anyone to do anything like that is kind of just rough to think about that in the first place, because why should anyone, you shouldn't expect someone to feel the same way about something. Like all these kids aren't going to feel the same way about playing bass or drums or doing theater or doing art or doing woodworking or whatever. Like when you start requiring things, it's like you're suggesting that everyone needs to feel the same about things, and every single person is unique. So to say that everyone should feel the same about something is just kind of ridiculous.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what that does when you start requiring that. It's like, well, everyone's got to do this, and that just takes away the freedom of choosing in the first place.
I mean, people still become mathematicians, and you have to take math. I think because like you can learn a lot from like I think some sort of music. Like you don't have to push anyone to anything specific, but some sort of music should be required up to a certain point, because I learned fractions when I started playing the piano. Because I started learning the different notes and the lengths of the notes and stuff like that, and then it opens up. It forces you to think in a different way, so it opens up like creativity and stuff like that. You can it's something you can work with creatively and just kind of play around with. And I think it's a good idea. I think those kind of things should be required up to a certain point, and as long as you're doing something musically, I think it's definitely a big benefit.
yeah, I'd say so.
Ditto.
Nice.
Is it also fair to say, though, and I'm sure it could be a separate topic on its own, but like kind of that different thought process you get from doing something like music or art you don't really notice it at the time. You notice it now.
Right.
While we're sitting here on the couch,
you
like,
notice it
oh,
later.
I did this when I was, 8 years old, and it's actually really relevant in my life now.
Yeah, that's true.
At the same time, I know a lot of kids or people that were like their parents forced them to do music at a young age, and then as they got older, they didn't want to do it. Whereas people that were allowed to come into that on their own, now they've been playing music 20 or 30 years, and they love it more than that. So, it's going to be a case by case. Like maybe if they have options, but it shouldn't just be like it has to be this or that.
Right.
Like, everyone should just have options.
Yeah.
As long as they're doing something to try and boost creativity, I suppose that'd probably be fine. But
I remember in like elementary school, come 4th, 5th grade, you have the option to like either be in chorus, orchestra, or band. And I mean, I thought that was kind of cool to have that option if your parents could afford the instrument.
Right.
But
Cool. Band for the win.
Yeah, orchestra's tits. That's a cool program. Like my state didn't have that.
Really?
That was not a thing. No.
they don't have running water in some places either.
This is correct.
He's from Michigan. Not that that's bad.
We went there.
Shall we do?
I was just gonna say quick too. I think there is a lot to be said about like forcing someone into something specific. Like, my best friend growing up, his sister was forced to do like tap dance. Like, their parents kind of like would push them each, and just it didn't really seem to make any sense. It was all just kind of disjunctive. Like, oh, we're gonna push you into this and you into that, and maybe they saw like a talent for that or something. But it did kind of, in a couple of their kids, they kind of bred this resentment for the thing they were trying to push them into doing. So I can understand that as well.
Yeah.
it just reminds me of a Tosh joke. It's like anal sex and eating spinach are kind of the same. If you were forced to do it as a kid, you're not going to like it as an adult. Oh, Daniel Tosh.
So next topic then?
Yeah, thanks.
Moving on.
And the stream broke.
God damn. Full bush, landing strip, or bald?
Ooh.
Pass?
Fast. Fine.
Fast one.
Okay.
Make it a brief one.
There needs to be hair. There definitely needs to be hair. It's there for a reason. Like, you can trim it, you do whatever you want, but like...
Are we talking about ourselves?
I thought you were talking
Or
about the
for
band bush.
For the... I've not heard Landing Strip's new album.
Oh, yeah. They're pretty good. Kind of emo, but...
Is this like a question about our personal grooming habits?
This is all it says. That's all I
Just
got.
what happened.
I'll answer both.
There's 3 options.
Yes.
Everyone should trim as needed.
Yes.
But there should always be something there. It's like, I'm married, so I'm obviously not out cruising for anything at this point, you know what I mean? But, like, if I was, I'm not looking to have sex with a baby. You know what I mean? Like, there should be some hair down there, you know what I mean? Like, to go shave all that just makes it look, it's weird.
When I wrote this question down, I was really debating whether or not to put it in the jar.
Yeah, but Bobo, is it really that much fun to chop through, bush with your tongue?
It depends on how accurate you are.
How sharp your blade is?
For myself,
I
trim
think
for
if
sure.
you're gonna have somebody over, you should probably trim the edges in most do some sort of
courtesy.
upkeep. But it's, in terms of lady, do whatever you want.
Someone
It doesn't-
walking in right now would be like, oh, they're talking about lawn work. Good deal. Yes, it's good.
Don't scorch the earth.
If that's how you want your front yard to look, just do
Like
it.
Deadpool?
It's,
Just straight dirt.
it's your property. Decorate it how you want.
Life's a garden, dig it.
Solid.
All right, next topic.
Solid.
Once we get into Joe Dirt quotes, we
Landing
gotta move.
Did the song that never ends indeed end with Shari Lewis's passing and other musical mysteries that need solving?
Is it Huey Lewis?
No, Sherry Lewis is passing.
Lamb chop.
Lamb chop.
My heart and soul. That's a
gonna
fail.
Fail.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just
Sorry.
feeling
Made me
it.
Too
depressed.
involved.
Too involved.
Too deep.
Would you rather eat spam
Pass.
or not?
That was very anticlimactic.
Yes,
I'm
pass.
just based on how it was written.
Pass it.
Yeah.
Let's just
Pass.
pass it.
Pass.
Quick rundown.
Yeah, pass.
Does it mean not as in starve to death?
If spam is my only option, I'll take it.
If I'm gonna die or eat spam,
But it's open ended, so we don't know.
I
if
would
it's the only
rather
option.
not. Just not.
Yeah, nah.
I'd rather not eat spam.
well, I mean, I eat Taco Bell. It's borderline the same thing.
There's a lot more salt in spam.
I mean, there's some weird spam flavors that I would like to try, but I can guarantee I wouldn't get through the whole can or feel good afterwards, mentally or physically.
That was the most sensuously I think anyone's ever said the word jalapeno.
I'm happy that you heard that.
Like I wanted that directly into the microphone. Jalapeno. Yeah. See, second time around, it's still great.
On the stick.
I should not have referenced Jeff Dunham.
Welcome to the last episode.
Oh, they just cut the funding.
No more tea. Damn it.
You do the last one? You did the last question?
Yeah.
Okay. Look at the guests dead in the eyes and with a low, feeble tone simply whisper, "Help."
I don't think that was a question I
No.
was supposed to do to somebody.
Pass or fail.
Well, let's fail it because you already did.
Yeah,
Yeah.
fail.
Yeah.
This is gonna take away the effect.
That was from Mark.
You had one job. What song would you want to have play around? Sorry, what song would you want to have play around you when something unfortunate happens? Pass or fail?
I like that one.
Pass? Not
No,
everybody
Not everyone
wants.
wants.
Sounds of Silence every time.
Darkness,
This is a
my
perfect death
friend.
song too.
Hip to be Square by Huey Lewis.
Square.
I could see things going awry during that.
Simple Plan Addicted.
There you go.
I'm a dick. I'm addicted to you.
I think I do this a lot in my life, but I just randomly insert songs. So I think for me, the one I go to most is "Welcome to My Life."
Can I pick that one too?
I think I'm gonna have to say Torn.
Well, I'm not actually surprised because I know everybody in this room now, kind of. But I just wish somebody would have said, like, "Don't worry, be happy."
Yeah.
Something uplifting.
I'd actually say The Middle by Jimmy Eat World. I take back my
That's fair.
Huey Lewis. That one's one of those. I actually live by that motto. It just takes some time.
Or just like the Beatles, like "Good Day Sunshine," or no, it's getting better all the time. But just John Lennon's verses can't get no worse.
Just randomly.
Actually, live my life by a quote from that song too. It's Elba, Elba. That's my motto. That and everybody Wang Chung tonight.
Yeah.
This is America.
Don't get you slipping up.
I just love that face.
Yeah. I'm so pretty. I'm on Kodak.
I'm live. I'm live.
This'll sell it. Next topic.
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
It's all due our Donald Glover. All right.
So it was just tuning in, like, are they all having strokes?
I'll be having that later.
Quick, what's the number to 911? Oh shit, I know.
And I'm stroking.
Put the phone in my other hand.
Stroke man, stroke man. Stroke. You got your number down.
Just imagine how ironic that'd be if you have a stroke while that song's on.
I wonder what Julian Casablancas would think of this question.
That's right. Okay. Yeah. That just my
All
favorite
the jokes I just got.
Should we do like 2 more questions and then call it good?
Sure.
All right.
Pass.
We're on 3.
Pass.
Three's a charm.
This is the Dresch Code.
We go till midnight.
I gotta work at 4:30.
Oh. 3 o'clock then. Just kidding. Is there a direct correlation between depression and creativity?
Pass.
Pass.
Pass?
True.
Yeah.
Yes.
say yes.
I haven't written in about a couple months.
Yeah. There you go. I will.
Does that depress you?
It might.
It's another layer.
Bitch, it might.
I think yeah, there's definitely a correlation because depression is just like it's based on how your brain is working. Like your brain isn't working in quite the right way or quite the same way, and that's what creativity a lot of times is looking at something from a different perspective or like a skewed perspective. And depression, like lots of mental illnesses, can cause that kind of skewed perspective on the world or on how things are affecting you or others.
Yeah.
So I think absolutely.
Yeah. From a musical standpoint, I think definitely. But for me personally, with comedy, I write better when I'm happier, in a good mood, because I'm more, instead of focusing on things that bum me out, I'm focusing on observing things that are like, that's kind of funny, and I'll write that down and write more jokes that way. In the last couple months, I've been like on the up and up in a really good mood, so I've been writing a lot more jokes. So I feel like if you're in a bad place, it's harder to write jokes, but musically it'd be easier to write music.
I actually go the opposite direction.
Really?
I write better when I'm in a crappy mood because it's always been, and something I've realized more now is I've kind of always used comedy as like a deflection tool of, my bad day, or if I'm pissed off at somebody or something like that. It's always a way to kind of turn it on its head and like have fun with it instead,
Yeah. I feel like if I'm in a depressed state, I write material that I would later regret telling on stage. I don't know.
That's fair.
That's how it's like, it'd be a really negative set. I don't know. I'm in a weird state.
Artistic creativity is emotionally charged.
Yeah.
So if you're depressed, I don't think it necessarily detracts from your writing ability, but it just puts you in a different mindset and you write something different.
Right.
Absolutely.
I think it helps to write it out. Like if you are depressed and when you are depressed, I know for me, it definitely helps just to write something out, just kind of get it out of your head a little bit,
Yeah.
like take it from another perspective and
I agree.
just look at it and kind of put some clarity to it.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah, like you were saying, the music is emotionally charged, and there's no better way to encapsulate an emotion than by experiencing it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I agree. One last topic.
Sure.
Take us home, Ryan.
I'm so.
Fail.
Let's go.
Okay, what will happen in television with Netflix and Hulu being a big part of people's agenda?
Yeah.
Pass.
Yeah, pass it.
Pass. What's the last topic? You can't fail it.
It's
Yeah.
gonna die.
Fail it. Okay, we're done. Have a good night.
I think I haven't had. My parents still do, and I work for them, and I'm at their house for like it's an hour or two, maybe a day, and so I watch cable TV then. But I'm almost always pulling up something on demand, or occasionally I'll pull up through Netflix. I don't watch like regular cable TV. I've
Right.
never. I haven't done that since like I think college when we got free cable. So
I mean, on top of it being like a generational thing, I think what we're seeing now is because people are pulling away, the costs keep going up,
Yeah.
and as that happens, more people are going to pull away. So
Yeah.
I don't see it coming out of this spiral. I think just more companies are going to have to embrace how the genre is evolving.
Yeah.
There are certain things like sporting events and stuff like
Yep.
that you can't, like, you can do pay-per-view type stuff, but then there's also a lot of companies that are coming out with the like pick your channels.
Yeah.
So you pay specifically, I want all the
Sling, that
ESPNs
kind of thing.
and what Fox, so I can watch every football game. So I'm just gonna buy those channels. And that cuts down on the cost, and I don't know if it's necessarily great because then you're people are buying into their mindset, like doubling down on their
It
mindset.
creates an echo chamber.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, absolutely.
I guess I'll talk. You know,
We almost made it through the whole podcast.
almost. No, I feel like if I want to watch something, Netflix, YouTube Red, even with like Cobra Kai and stuff like that. However, it was such a staple of like American society. Like if you had a TV, you were like successful as a family, as an adult. You know, like that was one of those like pinnacles of I'm succeeding.
Material shit.
And I feel like even now, like I don't watch TV anymore, but like having TV just kind of on in the background is kind of like I'm a proper adult. You know what I mean? It's kind of weird in that regard. You know,
It has circled back around to being a luxury rather than a commonplace.
right? Kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
Now landline phones, nah, we're not getting there. But
Curse you!
That's kind of funny how you're talking about it too, because for a little while there was you would discuss like a household as, oh, that's a 3 TV household, or
Yeah.
like when I was little, it was like, oh, let's go over to Jeremy's place because he's got 4 TVs in his house.
Yeah.
And then you don't have to just watch Star Trek with his dad, which now I regret hating it so much when I was a kid, but
that's fair. That's fair.
He's got a Nintendo.
It's still not as good as Star Wars, though.
Put it in the topic. Fucking put it in the show.
We could do a whole
put it
episode
in the
on that.
jar.
For real.
Yeah. Well, that's all the topics for tonight's episode. We have more we'll use for future episodes.
We're gonna put these 3. We're putting the failed ones back in.
Should we put those back in
that-
case?
is that what
I
you
think
thought?
that'd be fun.
It's up to you. You
Yeah, let's put them back in. Let's put them back in.
Okay.
Okay. They'll put it back in.
Rules.
We'll shuffle them up.
Put them back in so they can get turned down next week.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now,
That's right.
before we go, any of you guys have upcoming shows you'd like to promote? Anything? Any projects you'd like to plug?
Hell yeah, Batman.
All right.
Bobo, you go first.
The only thing we really got going on right now is Some People's Kids is playing at the Icon Lounge on July 6th. I believe the band is from Chicago, Illinois. They're called North by North.
Yep.
I think Lost Harbor was the other band that was playing with us on that. I would have to double check. That's the only thing that we got on the books right now. I'm also playing bass for the band Lost Harbor at the Private Drive Reunion show on June 29th.
cool.
Just one-time fill-in show to help them out, so that's going to be pretty fun.
Cool.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's all I got.
I'll be opening for Metallica. No, I'm
Right.
kidding. No, I don't have anything going on. I just stream video games on Twitch. If you want to watch Skyrim in VR and watch me crap my pants,
What's your Twitch handle?
What's your handle?
Roxo13.
Spelled out
ROCKZO 13.
in the Spanish alphabet.
Jennifer Lopez.
June 8th. For my band. June 8th at the Icon is the Type Omega CD release. We're a new progressive rock band in Sioux Falls. We are guaranteeing to be the most average thing you've ever seen, at least.
Come on.
And and yeah, no, it's very exciting. We're playing with No Sir Not Me and Lost Harbor again. Ooh. And kind of bummed you're not filming on that one, but whatever. Yeah, no, it's gonna be fun. It's the kickoff to our first tour of the summer. We've got a couple more tours throughout the summer booked, and
Cool.
yeah, it'll be fun.
Yeah.
Good song.
All right, I have June 1st. I'm on a showcase at Hydra downtown in Sioux Falls. Those are always pretty fun shows. Kind of a small room, so you might want to get there early. 'Cause that room fills up every time they do a show there.
Yep.
And then June 3rd, it's a Sunday. I run throughout the summer a show at the bonus round where I bring in some comedians from around the region. I bring a group of people in. The first one, this is going to be a couple of people from Omaha. So I got Ryan De La Garza, Jeremy Plum, and Brenna Grabow coming up. And what we do is it's a $12 cover to get into the bar, and all of the games are on free play. And then we've got 2 for $5 Odell IPAs throughout the night. And so the games are going to be on free play before the show starts, and they'll be on free play for a while after the show as well. And the ticket price goes to pay the comics for the most part. Like we have to pay a little bit out ahead and stuff, but it basically almost all ends up going to the comics to help them travel up here so we can keep good shows going on. And then June 8th on Friday, it's 8 o'clock. I'm doing a showcase with Clay Foley, is a comic from out of town that's working up to. He's trying to find some work through the region. He's just kind of doing a pass-through show. And I'm going to have a couple comics on from down in Sioux City. We got Miranda Vint and Matt Hadorf. And Zach Dresch is going to be on the show. And I'm going to be hosting, and then Clay Foley headlining.
Awesome. Ryan, about yourself?
Yeah, no, the only thing I had going on, we just closed this weekend. Monster Still Theater Company had Dead Man's Cell Phone, so if anyone came to the show, thank you for that. But I'll have other things coming up down the pipeline in later episodes.
Awesome. Robert, anything you want to plug?
Lots of podcasts. TheSiouxEmpire.com. Check it out. Catch the Fever.
There you go.
No, that's it.
And a couple other thank yous I forgot to mention. Adam White is responsible for the Pass or Fail Dresch Code idea. I want to give him props for that as well. And Robert, thank you for this props for this prop.
Yep.
The lovely glass bucket with a lid.
A jucket. And then
It's a jar.
Yeah. And then Disarmed, my band has a show this Friday, the 25th at Icon. And our song Equilibrium is the theme song for this podcast. So, fun fact. So if you're interested in the snippet you heard and you'd like to check out, it's off our album Another Fleeting Reason, which we just pressed on vinyl, and it should be available at our next gig, probably be out. And we're doing a vinyl release show at some point. Not sure when, but stay tuned for that. And Dresch Code podcast every couple weeks. Be awesome. And thank you, Robert, again for helping us with everything with this show, and means a lot. And then thanks to Mark for the show poster again, Jeremiah for the show name idea, and everyone else, thank you for listening and watching. And we'll see you at the next episode in the future.
Peace.
Yeah.
Should we all say the Dresch Code again?
Yes.
On 3? 1, 2, 3.
The Dresch Code.
The Dresch Code.
Yeah.
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 Yeah.